we are going to paint the northern lights with some amazing clouds. And if you're a patron, you get the extended version in the blue.
Well, hello everyone, Kelly here. So we are going to repaint one that I did for the Make Time to Create so you can see it up close as to what I did and I can explain it to you. So this is the photograph that we used and I absolutely love this one. I think I might change it up a little bit more, but we're going to start with that beautiful teal. And I'm just going to bring that just a little over halfway down the paper. And I am using my Fabriano paper. And once I'm doing this, I need to make myself a little moon. He is very tiny. This is a Northern Lights, beautiful evening here. And I just went through with all of that beautiful teal. Now you do have to work fairly quickly. This paint or this paper seems to dry a little quicker than what I might be used to. I'm going to go into a lovely shade of rose. I'm going to add just a tiny bit of purple, violet to that. And again, you have to work fairly quickly. I'm just going to throw in some of this. Now this is like a Northern Lights thing, so I could do a little bit of this motion, which I didn't do in the demo video. But that way it leaves you some light, so it looks like you're getting those rays without actually painting the rays. And then I want to do just some dark lilac or dark purple over here, maybe in around that moon a little bit, and blending some in here too. I'm going to go back to that teal and just blend some of that. All right, and then I'm going to leave that for right now. We're going to add a few more clouds to that, but right now I'm just going to go down and do that black underneath. And I do have my black gouache. If you don't have black gouache, you can use ultramarine blue and umber. That makes a really nice black shade too. I actually like to use a little bit of this Prussian blue to make a nice dark black. But I mean, you want this not watery at all. And I'm using a big brush. I'm using a number 12 black velvet brush, so it does hold a lot of water. So in order for me to get this dark enough, I think that's going to be dark enough, I need to have quite a bit. Now there was a glare, like a road in there. I might just put that in there this time. Kind of like the little sparkle. I mean, that wouldn't be bad to leave that, would it? Just gives you a little bit of highlights in there. Let's leave it. And then I do need to switch now to a smaller brush. So I want to put in, I'm doing this really quickly. I want to put in a little bit of that darker purple up here for some clouds while it's wet. Let's just see, let's drop it in. I can't remember if I did this at the beginning or waited for it to dry. I'm going to add a little bit of that Prussian blue in there to get a real dark color. It's probably going to mostly be on the underneath. There we go. And I'm going to drop in a little down in here with a darker cloud. That's pretty good. I like that little teal around the moon here too. Okay, that's it. I'm going to let that go for now. Okay, and then switching now to a detail brush. And I'm going to use, this is my small Siberian elk. This is my fancy one. This one's expensive. Handmade by Tracy Lebenzon. Again, he's an artist, but I mean the point on these, I mean, if you want detail and something that holds a lot of paint, these are pretty amazing. And this one's super soft. You can see it just moves around, bends. It gives you those nice little lines. I also like the goat hair one, which is less expensive. That one's only $32. And that one does a good job too. It's just a little longer. So this one is the small or the short hair one. So I have a little bit more control with this one. All right, and then there was little trees down at the front. Now this is still wet, so you can see I'm getting a little bit of a bloom here. If I wait a little bit longer, I'm going to get a very sharp, defined tree. So I'm going to show you both so you can see if you want to wait or not. So you see it gives that nice soft look, but in the photograph, they're pretty stark. So let's go ahead and dry that, and we'll do a couple more. All right, we're back. It's all dry, and let me just show you the difference here. So we'll add another tree here and see you can get to that nice defined lines without any movement. Very crisp. So I might go over some of this. This one now looks like it's in the background a little bit. So you can see how it just softens everything when it's wet. And I want nice, crisp, sharp lines for this. And that tree is a little bit more rounded than my normal trees. It does have a couple little branches sticking out. And these are more rounded as well. I do want to leave a little bit of blue kind of peeking through. I don't want to cover everything up. A little more of that blue in there. And this actually has some mountains, which I can pop in there now. Let's get a little bit more paint in there. There we go. So there might be cars driving in there, so I can, give the illusion of something happening by just popping in a few little breakers in here. So that might look like some cars back in there. And I'm going to actually go over this again with some little distant, it could be mountains, it could be trees. I think they're trees. I want to get it nice and dark. And I could throw a little bit of that blue in there. Just to give it some variety. I can even put some of that blue here in the black. Because you can have some variations, right, in darkness, even in black. Go like that. Okay. So we've got our little cars back there, that little bit of light. There's actually, I'm looking at it, there is some white up above here. So for that, I'm going to use my Doc Martin bleed proof white. And we do have, I'm just going to dip it in here and use the cover for that. So we do have to keep this bright white. So it does have a little bit of cloud coverage that you don't even see. And then what I'm going to do is just follow. Oops, I didn't do it there very well. Follow that cloud along the top. And I'm I'm just going to put in just a few. And that's where that moon kind of reflects. It might not reflect everywhere, but it has just a little bit. And then you might have a little bit on the underneath of this one. It gets smaller and smaller. We've got more on the underneath here, maybe. I don't want to overdo it, which I'm trying not to. Again, just a few, and it's going to brighten everything right up. Over here, you don't really see much. That's actually looking the moon. Let's make it a little bit bigger with some gouache. Now, with the moon and with all this stuff, remember, you can't make it smaller, but you can always make it bigger. So if you need to start small, and then it will have a tendency to grow on you anyway. So start small when you do that. I don't want to do too much, but that gives you an idea. So you can see how bright white those are. You can also soften it just a little bit by adding some water to it. Now I did these all wet into wet. You can see the difference. These are a little bit more defined than what those are. Whether I like it better, I don't know. Let's go ahead and soften that just a little bit. So all I did is just wet that brush, and then I'm just going to make this little circular motion on the underneath of this and draw some of that white down into the purple area. I don't need to do a lot, just a little bit. It just takes that bright white away, because those are going to be, it's going to usually just be up on the very tippy top. Again, clean water. These are going the other way because the moon is above it, or below it, I should say. The highlights are going to be above it. Here they're going to be below it because the moon is above it. I'll say it right this time. And that is starting to dry a little. And you can even soften all that if you find that you got too much and you're not happy with it. Just take some water and you can soften it up a little bit more. Blend it into those clouds. Let's soften this one. You can also make kind of a misty around here if you want by bringing that out a little bit. Look at that. Right through the clouds. Okay, if you find that you lose part of your moon, go back in with some white. You can just doctor it up a little bit more. Add more down in here if you want. I'm going to do more water and blend that. Just soften it a little bit. Okay, so that's how you do it. We're going to do another one and play with the sky a little bit more with some different colors for my patrons in the extended version. If you want to stick around to watch that, I would love to have you join us in the Patreon group.
And if you want to take a peek, it's free for the first 7 days, and link is down below in the description box.
We have over almost 100 videos in there now, and I'm expanding over in there. A lot more material is happening and less is going to be on social media just because the things don't get seen quite as much on social media. So I'd love to have you join us over there. We have lots of fun.